philosophical debates regarding the concept of will to power have Friedrich Nietzsche as their main expositor. It has 5 main perspectives. The first, being philosophy as a form of nihilism and as the highest mode of the value, knowledge. Next to religion and morality. From this statement, we can focus on the cornerstone that has made man what it is and what it can turn out to be, this being education. Nietzsche establishes that in all education, man is the risk and the price of himself. Nihilism plays an important role here because it considers knowledge in its purest form, not by stating a purpose to it, if not an understanding of man. On the second note, we have philosophy as a counter-movement against nihilism and as a transmutation of all values. Making reference to Plato, we can understand nihilism as a process of which our time is simply the time of its definitive and inevitable eruption. Parting from this point, philosophy as a form of nihilism can be considered a contradiction, owing to the fact that philosophy is instructing, teaching, and learning to understand the assumption that there is a sense, an ideal, and a truth to existence. The opposition of education, as conceived by nihilism, aims at overcoming man in humanity, its highest and only goal being the production, or at least the possibility, of a great man, of an exceptional individual who is beyond nihilism. Nietzsche determines that who must be educated is a resulting Superman. It is understood that the Superman is the one who has to impose new values and new hierarchies on Earth, representing a counter-movement with respect to the values consecrated by the current cultures, promoting a transmutation of values. On the third place, philosophy as a doctrine of the will to power. With the destruction of old values, the imposition of new ones is required, making the educator's task more complex and above all ambiguous. The will of power is a project of programming the tasks that the new education must undertake, establishing the annihilation of the decadent races. The German philosopher states that the orientation of education is the increase and preservation of power. The ending of nihilism will be the starting point for all education and a suitable ground for a strong man to emerge. Fourth, comes Zarathustra's discourses and teaching, the thought of the eternal return of the equal, and the announcement of the Superman as a culmination of Nietzsche's thought. Zarathustra is an alter ego of Nietzsche that narrates his teachings and whom culminates by destroying his own culture. He is the great educator and the starting point for all education at the time of the consumption of nihilism. After this culmination, it is established that the new educator must destroy all value that has lost weight and meaning, assuming driving to its ultimate consequences. Only in this way can a new point of view and perspective be established to achieve a radical transvaluation. Last but not least, philosophy as preparation for the Superman, discipline and education. To explain the Superman, it is also necessary the individual decision, the own choice, the will of terrible things. For Nietzsche, now a decision is proposed in favor of the individual man who, before the failure of the previous determination, called nihilism, can only be thought of as a future man, as a strong and exceptional man. Education will be the specific process that must lead to the emergence and full development of a superior man from the most radical possibilities of his essence. It is necessary for the new man to possess a freely assumed discipline, a judgment that the free spirits lack, concluding that the man comes to assume his existence as his own, increasing the degree of power he already possesses, and with this, Nietzsche's sequence ends.